Chapter 1 of Six Little Ducklings. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Phil Chenevert. Six Little Ducklings by Katharine Pyle. Chapter 1. Old Mother Duck and her 6 little ducklings lived in a hollow tree down by the river, and here they were all as happy as the day was long. They had the whole of the broad, bright river to swim about on, and there was no one to bother them or drive them about. Mother Duck had not always lived in the hollow tree. Once she had lived in a farmyard back in the country and away from the river, but she had not been very happy there. For one thing, there was a very cross old watchdog in the farmyard. He was kept chained to his doghouse through the day, and never set loose until the other animals had gone to bed, but he used to snap at the ducks and chickens whenever they came near his doghouse, and that frightened them. Then there was no place to swim but in a muddy little duck pond that almost dried up in the heat of summer. But the worst thing of all at the farmhouse was the way the farmer's wife used to steal the ducks' eggs. No matter how carefully Mrs. Duck hid her eggs, Mrs. Farmer always found them and took them away. Once she put a number of them in a hen's nest and allowed a hen to set on them. After a while the hen hatched out 11 of the cunningest, fuzziest, yellowest ducklings that ever were seen. The hen was just as pleased and proud as though she had laid the eggs herself, but she didn't in the least know how to bring up a brood of ducklings. Mrs. Duck could see that very plainly. She didn't even want them to get their feet wet, and she almost had a fit when they went into the water one day. After that, Mrs. Duck made up her mind she would not stay at the farm any longer. She started off into the wide world early one morning without saying anything to anyone, and waddled on and on and on until after a while she came to the hollow tree beside the river. Here she made a nest and hatched out a little brood for herself, and brought them up the way young ducklings should be brought up, and was very happy. End of Chapter 1.
Chapter 2 of Six Little Ducklings. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Christina Webb of Christiansburg, Virginia. Six Little Ducklings by Katharine Pyle. Chapter 2. There were 6 of the little ducklings, and their names beginning with the eldest were Squdge and Queek, Buff, Pintoes, and Fluffy. And the littlest and cunningest one of all was named Curlytail. Buff and Fluffy and Curlytail were girls, and the other 3 were boys. One fine day when the wind was blowing, and the leaves were rustling, and the little wood rabbits jumping high and kicking their heels for joy, Mother Duck told the little ducklings she was going to take them for a picnic. "Oh, goody, goody!" they cried, and clapped their wings for joy. Mother Duck got out a little basket of meadow grass that an old muskrat had made for her, and she and the children packed it full of luncheon. There were crisp watercress and wild celery and little snails and all sorts of good things such as little ducklings like to eat. As soon as the basket was packed, they started off. The ducklings thought they would probably go down to the river, but instead of that, Mother Duck led the way off into the wood directly away from the water. "Where are we going, Mother? Where are we going?" asked the little ducklings. But the mother only smiled and shook her head and would not tell them. After a while they came out of the wood and into a meadowland, where there was a heap of high rocks.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?